My husband was an only son. Let me just tell you the mystery of what God can do. My husband was an only son for 10 years. You know what that means?
Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine because I am doing very well. So if you're seeing my face for the first time and you're just clicking by recommendation or by suggestion, anyhow you came, you're highly welcome. My name is Uche and I live in Spain. I film about faith, marriage, motherhood. I think you're going to enjoy it here. So do well to subscribe and join my family. So today, guys, I'm doing my first Q&A, mom Q&A, and I'm going to give you my honest answers on these questions. Okay, some of the questions I'm frequently asked, some of these questions, and some of them are just random questions I got here and there. So without wasting much of your time, let's jump right into it. So the first question is, how many children do you have? I have 4 amazing boys because I've featured 2 on this channel. So people, used think that I have just 2 children. So I have 4 amazing boys. Yeah. So the next question is, worst part of being pregnant? By the grace of God, I'm one of those women that pregnancy doesn't worry. Pregnancy doesn't disturb me, honestly. Apart from the 9th month, I don't have any vomiting. I don't vomit. I use perfume. I don't have any much stress, physical stress or anything, apart from adding weight. And then, well, one of the worst thing for me about pregnancy is the fact that it's long. The months is 9 months. That 9 months is usually like 1 year. For me, it's basically 1 year. By the time you get pregnant, 40 weeks, 38 weeks, the whole year, is all round that pregnancy. Another thing for me here, pregnancy that is worst for me is the appointment, early morning appointment and all that. Another thing that is worst for me, I don't like about pregnancy, is that my sleeping position is kaput. That's the German people. My best sleeping position is my stomach, flat on the bed. Then I move my head here and there. So, but when I get pregnant, that's, is cancelled. So that's one thing my worst experience or whatever it is that I don't like about, being pregnant. Yeah, my best experience, obviously now, the fact that you'll be pampered, of course, by your husband and maybe people outside. There are some things, you'll be exempted from doing, for that period of time. Yeah, that's one beautiful thing I like. And the fact that you feel another being inside of you, that's the best feeling when you see your baby on a scan, knowing that, you're carrying another being. Yeah, that's another beautiful thing for me. Yeah, the next one is, did you have any pregnancy craving? I did. My own is not good, health-wise and otherwise. I used to crave this native chalk, nzu, the one that is salty. Please, if you're pregnant and you ever crave for nzu, please don't take it. It's not healthy. Normally, salt is not healthy. It's not too much salt is not healthy. Talk less of a pregnant woman. So I used to crave nzu, and luckily for me, it's not something you get easily here. So with time, the craving went nzu. Another thing I used to crave while pregnant is ice block. Those ones you see in the freezer like snow. Phew, very bad. And because my second son, I think, or thereabouts, I took it. So when I gave birth to my son, he was feeling feverish. So if you're pregnant and you feel craving for cold things, even when I asked my midwife, she said there was no problem, but don't take. I'm telling you now, if you ever crave, cold things, even if you take, don't let it not be a habit. Drink normal water for the health of your child. So that was the two dangerous things I used to crave as a pregnant woman. Okay. How has motherhood changed you? That's one. I have a separate video on that on my channel, like 16 minutes or more. do well to check out that video. But what I will only say is that obviously motherhood will change you and will still continue to change you. There's no rules and regulation or this is how motherhood has changed me. Full stop. It's a journey. It will keep changing you. There are things you find yourself doing as a mother when your kids are still small. But when they get to their teen, you find out, there's another experience that will shape you in another way. Do you get? So motherhood sure has changed me. So if you want to see that video, just check it out. Okay? Yeah. The next one is, what was your greatest fear as a single girl, you know, about motherhood? One of my greatest fear as a single girl, was getting married and not having a child or children. That was one of my greatest fear as a single girl because I love children. Like, I love children. Maybe that's one of the things I inherited from my mother, apart from the native chalk. I love children. So that's helped me anyway while I was growing to, be careful with men. I was very careful where I went to, what I do with men, because I felt maybe I'm those kind of people that believe in seed and harvest time, that whatever you sow, you will reap. You know this Bible verse, was it Genesis 28, thereabouts? Well, seed time and harvest time that shall not say. I hadn't read it while in school, but I am somebody, like, I believe so much in karma. Whatever you do, you reap. So I was careful with men because I feel if anything happens, I'm those kind of people that if anything happens, when I now get pregnant, even I now get married, you know, if I don't get children, there's nothing anybody will tell me in this world that I will not always reflect that maybe God is punishing me for that kind of life I lived. I don't know if you're getting me. So because of that, I am extremely careful. Even though now I have come to understand that the way we think is not the way God thinks. You can still be careful and what will happen will happen. Do you get? But for me at that time, I was very careful. So understand that kind of thing. So my greatest fear that time as a single girl was, getting married and not being a mother. And even now, if I see a couple that don't have children, I don't know how I feel. I don't feel well. It's not something you even wish your enemy, honestly. So that's my greatest fear. Next question is, I'll answer two of them together. How did you feel when you discovered that you're having another boy? Then the next one is, how do you feel, not having a daughter? Do you know in this life, there's a stage you get in this life and you start thinking about what matters most. Okay, let me give you an example so that you understand what I'm saying. That time we write jump, that first time we write jump, almost everybody, including the people that are looking at me watching this video, our first choice is usually medicine and law, engineering, architecture. Yeah, nobody talked about economics and all those and GPD and all those stuff, all those courses until after the first jump. Then everybody's head, if you don't reach your cutoff, everybody's head will start coming down. You now start thinking about what am I good at. Let me just put the course. If I'm good at literature, maybe I'll put linguistics and communication or English. That's, you now discover where you're good at. Same thing happens when when you want to get married. You're almost everybody wanted a tall, handsome, young guy, but at some point you discover that that young, tall, handsome, rich guy is not necessarily what matters. What matters is a man that will understand you and will give you peace in your marriage. So same thing with having children. Before I got married, I was saying that I want to have 4 kids, 3 boys and just 1 girl. But at this point, I've come to realize that what God wants to give you, He knows is what you need, what is important for you, what will be useful for you. That's what I think. I saw a video of IJ's Corner with Adeze. There was one thing she said that stood out for me. She said, when Adeze asked her how she feels not having a daughter, she said you cannot miss what you never had. I never had it. I don't have a daughter, so I don't miss having a daughter. Do you get? As human beings, as mothers, you want to have a boy and a girl. Like I said, I always wanted three boys and just one girl. But Chikamara, God knows what is best for me. My husband was an only son. Let me just tell you the mystery of what God can do. My husband was an only son for 10 years. You know what that means? Girl, 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 until eventually the mother had the brother, the younger brother. And so when I gave birth to my fourth son and my mother-in-law was told that I had, a boy, she felt so emotional. She said, Legwedi nwanwoke eji wamoku, something like that. Like during her own time, she was having girls so people were not interested to know what she gave birth to because they assume it's going to be a girl. Now, my husband is the one having boy. Do you understand? God has a perfect plan for everybody. God will give you what is best for you. The most important thing is the one God gives you. Mark out, bring out the number of children you want to have. As soon as you're done, anyone God, just put it in prayer. As much the ones that God will give you that will be useful for you, let God give you. The most important thing and the child that is kind and the child that is intelligent, so that at the evening of your life, it shall be peaceful. Your evening of your life will be peaceful. Or anywhere you're going, you're not living with any of them. Do you understand? So that the legacy you leave shall be good. If you insist, let me have girl, at the end of the day, it might be the girl that will give you stress. Or you say, let me have boy. At the end of the day, it is the boy that will give you stress. It's not our portion, but I'm just saying in general. At this point, I'm looking at what matters most and coming to the question, how do I feel, having boys? I feel blessed. Because they are going to, by the grace of God, I'm praying for my daughters-in-law. They are going to marry good daughters. Whoa, I didn't lose anything by the grace of God. For me, I didn't lose anything. That's the way I'm seeing it. I'm counting my blessings. The ones that I have, I'll train them well. I'm not looking at what I don't have. So I feel blessed. The last question is advice to be moms. My advice is, before you get pregnant, you can learn one or two things just to get yourself ready. But the thing is, nobody will teach you how to be a mother. The people can help you, but experiences differ. You pay attention to your step-by-step level of motherhood. Do you understand? So the way it's applicable to this person, your child might not behave, then you get confused. So learn, few things from people. But one thing I want to tell you is that motherhood, there are a lot of things you will learn by yourself. And in general, motherhood is a beautiful thing. Okay, with that, I'll come to the end of this video, and I will not fail to let you give me your own experiences. What are your cravings? What did you feel? Or let me know what you crave for when you're pregnant. What are your best experiences as mothers? Okay, I'll see you in my next one very, very soon. Bye.